You may already know I have used Canon 700D for around 4 years. After upgrading its battery pack with a power bank, I am thinking of its remote shooting functionality. After quite a bit of googling, I found there are two options for remote shooting. I can buy a dedicated remote with 450 rupees, or I can connect a 2.5mm jack with this port, extend the wire and connect a push switch between these two wires together to click an image or just focus a particular object of a scene. Actually, with a button press, we are pulling the 3.3 volt to ground. This way, camera senses the button is pressed. Here we need to keep in mind that to focus or capture a photo, we have to hold this button for quite a while. I obviously choose the second one. It almost costs me nothing, but it's pretty boring. Instead, how it would be if I can DIY a remote receiver so that I can use any kind of remote with my camera? Yeah, it would be awesome, right? Well, in this video, we will attempt to do that. To receive an IR signal from an IR aka infrared remote, which is commonly found nowadays, we need an IR receiver. I am going to use this rather cheap TSOP 1738. It has only 3 pins to work with: ground, VCC and data out. After connecting the VCC and ground with a 3.3 volt supply, I have connected my oscilloscope with the output of the receiver. At the output, there is a continuous 3.3 volt signal. You may think that's strange, but with the proper IR input, we can see the output signal fall back to ground with every pulse of the signal. I am not going to in detail how you can read the signal. Actually, you don't need to. We will just filter these pulses and want a neat and clean DC straight line signal with every button press. If we simplified what's going on right now, with a button press, output signal of the TSOP 1738 fall back to ground. Without input, the output signal stays at around 3.3 volt. Now what we are going to do is to flip these states. Without proper IR input, output should be at 0. And with input, it could be 3.3 volt. This simple state changing is easily possible with a transistor. In this case, I am going for a BC557 PNP transistor. Now the output signal looks like this, but with lots of data coming from the remote. Lots of 0 and 1 are coming from certain intervals. We here don't need that information. Rather, we need only 2 states of this signal. If a button is pushed from the remote, then the output signal should nearly at the supply voltage, and without the button press, it should be pulled back to ground. So to filter out the data, I am going to use a 4.7 microfarad capacitor in parallel with the output of the transistor. That's it. Now we got what we need. But we can't use this signal directly into the camera. Or maybe I don't want to take any risk. So I am picking up a BJT NPN transistor, which will be used to short the 3.3 volt rail of the camera to ground, and the transistor will be triggered with the signal of the remote. So the collector of the transistor is set with the ground of the circuit, and the base is connected with the output of the BC557. The emitter will be connected with the 3.3 volt rail of the camera, and the camera ground will be obviously connected to ground. Before powering the circuit, make sure the circuit is powered with a 3.3 volt supply, otherwise things may be gone wrong and the camera may be damaged. After powering things up, I have hooked up my oscilloscope probes with the emitter and collector pins, and immediately found that now the 3.3 volt rail of the camera is pulled to high, and with a button press from the remote, it pulled down to low. By holding the remote button for a couple of seconds, the camera first focuses on an object and then clicks a photo. Everything is working just as we expected. So I have soldered all the components on a piece of Haro board, and for safety I have used a 3.3 volt regulator at the voltage input of the circuit, and connected a micro USB header with the circuit to power data from a power bank, which is still powering my whole camera. You can though set a CR2032 socket for the respective battery to power the circuit. In that case, you don't need the regulator. Now we need a small enclosure to pack everything together. So I have measured all the components and designed a case in Fusion 360. Then I have sliced it and printed it with my 3D printer. After removing all the support, I have started placing the components one by one. Started from the micro USB port. Next, the IR receiver with the help of bit of hot glue. And last but not the least, the wire that will be used to connect this receiver to the camera. After soldering all the components together as shown in the diagram, I have started assembling the horseshoe mount with the lead of this enclosure. If you are interested in this project, then all the STL files can be found on my website geekysomo.com. Anyway, after placing all the components inside the body, closing the lid and inserting the micro USB port into the slot other end to the power bank, we are almost ready to shoot. So everything is working just fine as we expected. After pressing the remote button for a certain time, camera focuses the object and by pressing it a bit longer, it shoots the photo. If you are planning to recreate this project, then all the parts list and schematics are found on my website geekysomo.com. Link is in the video description. Hope you guys have enjoyed the video and learned something new. If so, then don't forget to like, share and subscribe and activate the notification bell for future updates. Thank you so much.